What's going on, guys? As per the title, we are making a Blue Moon clone that I'm calling Blue Dragon because I'm Welsh, so why not? Bit of a twist on this one. Traditionally, and I've made this many times, bitter orange peel. I use about 50 grams into a 21 litre batch, but this time I'm going to be using Mango Madness yeast, I think it's called, from WHC Yeast, and it's supposed to give lots of mango and guava flavour. So I kind of wanted to see what it was like using just coriander, no orange peel in the beer, and to see what sort of flavours we get out from that. So as usual, the recipe will be in the description below, and let's get mashing in and I'll go through everything that I do step by step. So whilst this is mashing in, we've probably got about half an hour left. So I've just measured out the hops. We're going for Hallertauer Mittelfrueh. Apologies if I've murdered that pronunciation. So it's only 16 grams each, first of which goes in at the first Wort hop addition. So it's, you know, as you sparge, you know, as you're coming up to temperature. And the next one is just 15 minutes before the end. Then we're going to go in with 50 grams of coriander seeds. I've just been cracking them, or cracking most of them. And then the yeast we're going for is this, Mango Madness. Very interested to find how this carries the flavour into the beer. A thermotolerant yeast, so we're going to be fermenting at about 32 degrees. Not very familiar with these type of yeasts. So yeah, I'll be learning as we go along. But an innovative and cutting-edge strain selected to revolutionise the brewing process with its unique aromatic profile. So I think in a excuse me, in a wheat beer, if this does have that aromatic profile as it promises, might not need orange peel at all, but time will tell. So yeah, about half an hour left, and then we'll be at the sparge. Normally sparging a wheat beer where you've got 50% of Pilsner malt and 50% of wheat malt, it takes forever to do your sparge. So it's always fun, isn't it? But I've added some rice hulls into the mash, as you probably saw, which should help that. Rice hulls, it doesn't add any sugars or flavours into the beer. It literally just kind of breaks up the pockets within the mash to allow water to drain through freely, or more freely rather. So there's not been any other upgrades in the brewery. I've been quite busy this summer. We've had a few weeks out in France, touring France, and yeah, not done too much brewing. But as we come into September and all the way through winter now, this is kind of my brewing months, if you like. Much more outdoorsy during the summer, and then winter then, very much brewery focused. One minor upgrade that we've got, which I need to install. Well, need to hang and put a battery in it. One of my very talented daughters made me this as a project in school. As you can see, it's got beer on there and Homebrew Griffo. It's all treated, got the mechanism at the back as well. Absolutely over the moon with it. She did really, really well. to build this in school as a project. So I'll be putting this up on the wall there, I think. So yeah, Briess. So we're about done with the sparge. So we're about done with the mash. We'll get the sparge underway, which will probably take an hour due to the reasons I said earlier. So we'll knock the pump off and try not to burn ourselves. Okay, this is only a half batch, as I would call it, so it shouldn't be too many issues. There we are. It sounds like it's draining well. Rice hulls are doing their job. And off we go with the sparge. What I normally do at this stage, I normally increase the temperature as we're sparging, but because we want to introduce the first wort hops, I'm going to wait till we've finished the sparge, chuck those hops in, then I'll increase the temperature. If I put it in too soon, I fear that they're going to be there for way too long and it's going to overbitter the beer. Cool. That's draining lovely. So we're now done with the sparge. We can put this to one side. That was a lot less painful than I expected. So the rice hulls absolutely done their job. So I'm going to leave the grain on top of here just to capture any more drops that come from it. We'll increase the temperature to boil temps 100 degrees Celsius, and then we'll chuck in our first wort hops. So up we go. 100, and we'll just sneak these in down the side. In they go. So I'll take this off as soon as we get to about 95 degrees or so, give everything a really good stir, and then wait for the boil. So we're straight into it. 15 minutes left of the boil, and we're going in with another 16 grams or so of Hallertauer. Not going to bother with any protofloc as you'd expect in a hazy wheat beer as this is going to be. That'll just be a waste of time and money to chuck that in. But with 5 minutes to go, we'll chuck in 50 grams of coriander and get her chilling. So 5 minutes left to the boil. Let's get this lovely 50 grams of lightly crushed coriander seeds in there. This is probably going to be chaotic to clean up, I would have thought. But let's go for it. Oh, it smells awesome already. Yes. Beautiful. Oh man, really looking forward to seeing how this beer turns out. Come on. So the boiler's just finished. Knock off the heating elements, and then I normally let this settle for 10 minutes or so, just so all the hops and everything kind of just come out of suspension. But because we've only got, I don't know, 32 grams of hops and a bit of coriander seed in there, I'm just gonna let it run gently through the counterflow chiller, just give that a little bit of a sterilization, and then we can transfer it. And the transfer temperature, I'm going to aim on this, is going to be about 35 degrees. And then we've got the fermenter set up ready for 32 degrees. Let's get it. So the pump is on. Well, that's weird. The Grainfather actually just quit. They come up with a warning saying not to use the pump whilst it's at 100 degrees, and I couldn't get past it and I couldn't turn the pump off. That is very strange. Okay, we're back in. I've run the pump at this temperature before without any issues. So just letting this drain out into the sink until we get the wort through. And that looks good enough for me. Back in it goes. So like I said, we'll just circulate this for a couple of minutes. And because of the heat loss through the counterflow chiller, which isn't on yet, this will naturally drop in temperature anyway. Okay, so the wortometer currently says we're at 88 degrees, Grainfather's at 95 degrees. We'll just chuck the counterflow chiller on. Can hear that coming through. We should start seeing this temperature drop. Let's see where it balances out. So I've got the wort going back into here, which isn't ideal. You should never chill this way, but as soon as the wort outlet from the wortometer gets to my desired temperature, I'll then transfer it, or start transferring it rather, into the fermenter. There we are, we're not that far away. I'll be happy with that. Yeah, anything less than 35. Yeah, let's start transferring. 31 now, that's a bit too low. So you can either slow the temperature of cold water going through the chiller, or you can increase, sorry, you can either slow the flow of the cold water going through the counterflow chiller, or you can increase the flow from the boil in order to counteract any temperature differential to suit your needs. Okay, let's get rid of the last bit of Starsan. I've got this handy clasp here as well. Don't want to risk pouring this down the drain. Here we are. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Let's try and get 20 to 21 in here for a full 19 litre keg. Nice looking colour to this. You can just start seeing through the wort as well to the bottom plate. And we're transferring at 30 degrees, and the temperature in the fermenter is 32.1, and I'm aiming for 32. Aha, spot on. Almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost. So we're just coming to the end of the transfer, and we've made it. We're just over 21 litres. Yeah, not much waste here. And there it goes. Okay, knock this off. We'll just get the dregs out. That's what I like to do. I'll keep that in there. I take this off and I raise it higher than the counterflow chiller, just to get everything out. Christ, that's got a tight fit in there. So raise it up, and it should all start flowing out. There it goes. Spot on. So happy with that. Got about 22 litres of Blue Dragon. Oosh. Let's get the yeast in. So as I said, the yeast we're going for is the Mango Madness. Hopefully it does what it says on the tin. Fermentation temperature ranges between 31 and 37 degrees. So I'm going to go for 32. It's more energy efficient, isn't it? Okay. In we go. Lid on. So as this instantly kicks off, right on cue, let's hope for the best. I'll check in with probably another brew day video really soon, but I'll also recap how this beer has turned out. Pretty sure this is going to be done fermenting in a number of days, and then we can crash it down, get it into a keg, and enjoy it with, well, with autumn fast approaching in the UK. So I hope you found that video useful. If you got any questions or comments, put them in the comments box below. So if you do have any questions about my new setup here as well, put them in the comments box. I'll endeavour to get back to everyone as quick as I possibly can. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Iechyd da. Stubbies.